dads in the audience to give yourselves a big round of applause. Beautiful. There is no more important place on earth today that you could be than here with your child. And I mean that sincerely. We know that when fathers involved in your child's life, they're less likely to live in poverty, less likely to do poorly in school, less likely to go to jail, and on and on and on. Research says that when fathers involved in your children's life, they live a very, very much more productive and positive life. Real quickly, I want to thank Mr. Holland, the school, for doing a great job of getting this together again this year. Real quick, the Fatherhood Initiative, 4 goals. Promote the importance of fathers being involved in children's lives. Billboards, radio ads, saying if you are involved, stay involved. If you're not involved, get involved. Second thing, try to make sure if you come to the county for services, you're treated in a father-friendly manner. The same way as a mom when she comes for services. The third thing we try to do is we fund programs. And there's a listing of programs here. There's our brochure here talking about the individual programs to help fathers not only meet the financial needs of their children, but the emotional needs as well. Because they have to be balanced. You know, if you're financially but not emotionally, something's missing. If you're emotionally but not financially, something's missing. And the fourth thing we do is we have an annual fatherhood conference and a number of events around the year to help celebrate healthy father-child relationships. You know, there's a myth out there that fathers don't want to be involved in their children's lives. That all fathers are like Al Bundy, sitting on the couch, you know, doing what Al Bundy does. But that could be nothing further from the truth than that in reality. And I think you guys are exhibiting that today. So give yourself another round of applause. I tell you that all the time. You know, I am not impressed with the types of Jordan tennis shoes you buy a child, or the type of rock-aware clothing you buy a child. I'm impressed when I ask a dad, who's your child's homeroom teacher? What did they get on their last science test? Who's their best friend and why? And if you guys can answer those kind of questions, then I know that you are invested in your children's life and you know what's going on on an everyday basis. And I cannot overstate the importance of that. And you guys being here today shows me that at this particular school, that everybody's invested in their children's lives and they want to be involved in their children's lives. And let this not be the end, but the beginning of the school year. And stay involved. Volunteer to do things around the school throughout the school year. You guys will read a pledge a little bit later, and it will say that I am going to volunteer at the school. I am going to work cooperatively with the mother of my child. I am going to be checking report cards and those kind of things. The reason we have this at the beginning of the school year is for you to stay involved throughout the school year. And last but not least, you know, we get about 2,021 calls from fathers a year to the Fatherhood Initiative, from covering a range of different issues. So if you have any issues that you're dealing with, that you need help with, it probably is not unique. It probably is something that we've dealt with before. So whether it's you're looking for a job, it's a personal visitation issue, you got a teenager that you can't communicate with, give us a call. Our number is on the back of the brochure there, and we'll be happy to assist you in any way that you can. So that's all I have to do. Enjoy the day today. Thank you so much for coming out. Give us a call if you have any problems or any questions with any issues in the past, and enjoy the day. One more thing. You guys are one of 101 schools in Cuyahoga County that are participating in this walk today. So I think that shows how much schools and how much schools want dads involved, and how committed you guys are today. So this is the largest number of schools that we've had participating. Our fathers over in the last 6 years. So congratulations again to all the schools in Cuyahoga County.
I'd also like to thank some of the board people that have joined us today. I see Ms. Bowles, our Director of Special Ed. She has to step down. And I also want to thank my father for being here. He helped me become the man I have become. James Harvey, other special guests joined us, took time out of their busy schedule to talk with you this morning. I'd like to thank and welcome to the microphone the Mayor of Greenview, Mr. Sisson.
Good morning. I think you can do that. Good morning. You know, one of the things that I noticed as I was driving through this morning is the number of dads that are walking down Green Road with their kids. And they were engaged with them. Dads, I think that's great. I have 3 children, 3 adult children, and 3 grandchildren. So I know how hard it is to be a dad. It's probably the hardest job I've ever had. And it's probably the most rewarding job I've ever had. It's gotten more rewarding with grandchildren, but it's still one of the best jobs I've ever had. I want to congratulate you all for being here and taking the time out of your schedules to be here with your kids. The best thing you can do, as Al said, is to be a role model for your children and to be there for them. So, congratulations. I'm glad I was able to be here with you this morning. Enjoy your time with your kids and have a good day. Thank you.
The opportunity for you all to share how impactful your father-daughter or father-son relationship has been. So this time we'd like to ask Angela and Mr. Calaveras to come to the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for choosing Angela and myself today to make a few comments in regards to fathers and children. I'd like to thank the principal, vice principal, Ms. Arturo, Mr. Mayor, and all the staff for doing this over the past couple of years. It's a very great time and day to honor not only the parents, but fathers as well. I agree with Mr. Mayor. In my professional field, I have to actually say this is the hardest job I've ever had in my life. But it's got the best rewards on the planet. Best benefits, hours are very long. We do struggle because we always want to be there for our kids regardless. I'm very blessed with my daughter. She is the light of my life. She's the reason why I get up every morning and get out of bed and do what I have to do on a daily basis, along with my family. But in retrospect, I'd like to say that I'm very proud to see all the fathers here today because it shows that we all care and there is a reason why we do what we do. Because being there for our kids shows that, like Superintendent said, that being there, it's a positive influence on all our kids and it keeps them in line and check, and it shows. Like the statistics show that what they're explaining is that being there as a positive influence down the road is a perfect example of what our kids become. And that's positive individuals in our community. So, I'd like to congratulate all fathers here today and thank everyone for having us and making me able to make these comments. Thank you.
We would also like to welcome to the mic Noah and Mr. Rock.
sixth grader here at Greenview. I'm here today with my father, Christopher, to talk about how important fathers are in our educational system. My dad he's been raising me to the top of the star. I asked for help one day, and I tried to draw bubble letters on my work, but he didn't let me. He pushed me to finish my work and get it done. And that's how I do it every day from now on. My dad, he fuels his educational system. All dads fuel his educational system to be the very best it can be. Like my dad does the same with me. He makes sure I get my work done. He gets me into every club that I want to. Because he knows he wants me to I know he wants me to be the best at everything I can be. I'm proud to give this speech, and I'm proud to be here with my father today. Thank you.
Good morning. I am proud also to be your dad, and my daughter Bethany as well. Being a dad is wonderful. It's the most rewarding thing that you can possibly do. Fathers have a lot of roles. We're disciplinarians, we're cheerleaders, we're friends. As a father, I look at my children as one of the greatest investments that I can make. I don't know if any of your children in orchestra went to Peter's and Garrett's last night, and it truly is an investment financially as well, amen? I'm a minister, so if I say amen, don't worry about it. Fathers, like everything else, education starts at home, right? Everybody agree with that? Education starts at home. If my wife tells my son to do something, it's not the same as when I tell him to do something. Everybody agree with that? You want to talk to me? Everybody agree with that? It has to be a part of who you are. Now, fathers can't change. Fathers can't change. When my son, he comes home and like clockwork, he asks me, can he watch television? And my response is always, go get a book. My daughter asks me, can I watch television? My response is always, have you read anything yet today? And so we can't change. It's not always the most popular thing to do, but we have to do what we have to do. And children, fathers, we want our children to have choices, right? We want our children to have choices. Children, raise your hand, raise your hand. Anybody like apple pie? Anybody like apple pie? You say yes. Cherry pie? What about mud pie? So what if you had nothing to choose from but apple pie, mud pie, and cherry pie? What would you choose? And that's all fathers want for our children. We want you guys to have choices. And I'm a police officer, so sometimes I see people at their worst. And it's because they ran out of choices. And we just want to make sure that you guys have choices. I thank you again for letting us speak here, for letting us make these comments. You guys have a great day.
I'm sure we can go on and on. I want to thank both families for speaking today. Their words definitely ring true. Our next speaker, Lieutenant Commander Marvin Richards Jr., has been all around the world. He has served as in the advocates aboard the JAG of the U.S. Navy. He has worked with Senator Paul Simon. He has been a litigator in Ohio and California, and he's currently the Executive Director of Business Continuity at Tri-State University. Welcome to the microphone, Marvin Richards Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Marvin. It's good to see so many people here. I would say Mr. Marvin mentioned that if you wanted me to come and speak, I was envisioning 5 or 10 people. So this is a great turnout. Very impressed. I'm here today to talk about the role of the father and fatherhood or role models. And determining what I was going to say today, I thought I'm going to ask my 3 children. So I asked my 3 children, guys, what is the role of a father? What do you think a father should be? Describe the perfect father. And they said, well, Dad, we look at you as a superhero. I thought, okay, that's great. I want to hear that superhero actually see folks in the house, which is Superman, is bad as well. The other kid said, no, we see more closer to Robin at sight. The third kid said, we see you closer to Aquaman, which, believe it or not, I find to be the most expensive of my kids because we talk about Aquaman all the time. And a lot of you may not know what Aquaman is, but he's a superhero who fights crime in the water. But we always wonder, the joke in our house was, what crime is in the water that Aquaman has to fight? So I realized, from my kid's perspective, I'm the most useless superhero ever. But realistically, what are the roles of a father? Really, in the three different areas. The father is the focus, the father is the man, and the father is the trusted. If you think about it as a compass, Mr. Holland mentioned you at a certain time of the day. When you have a ship, the ship has to figure out where to go. And you use some sort of navigation system, a compass or something like that. And that navigation system tells you how to get to where you're going. That's what a father does. It serves as a compass. And that compass gives you your values, your morals, and even your sense of humor, which apparently my kids got from their mother. The other thing a father does is serve as your biggest faith. Fathers give encouragement. When things aren't going so well, your father's always there to pick you up and say, come on, we can do this, let's make this happen. Fathers then give you advice in terms of, hey, I had this experience growing up, or I've seen this. Here's how you can make this better, here's what to expect next. And I think as kids, we don't appreciate our parents say those all the time. I remember reading something from Mark Twain where he said, when I was 14, I couldn't believe how clueless my young man was. And when I went out on my own and came back 7 years later at 21, I couldn't believe how much wiser he became. And where he was going with that is as we get older, we realize how much wiser our parents are and how they really knew the right thing. And I encourage you to listen to your father. The other thing our fathers do is serve as a trusted advisor. And I know that one of the things that fathers are supposed to do is to listen to the children say, okay, son, daughter, this is where you say you want to go, let's help you get there. So it's serving as a trusted advisor. Now in terms of my father figures, I grew up in a single parent home. My dad was, I consider to be my best friend or one of my best friends. But at the same time, my mother served some of those traditional, what we think is traditional father roles. My mother served as a disciplinarian and served to make sure my homework was done. I guess what I'm going with that is that a father doesn't necessarily have to be, a father figure doesn't necessarily have to be a man. But then I looked outside of, the traditional structure growing up and said, okay, I remember this as a kid saying, who else are my father figures? And it's actually good to see Mr. Holland and Mr. Holland here, because I actually saw Mr. Holland as one of my father figures. I grew up with your principal, and I remember growing up and watching Mr. Holland play tennis with his children and taking them to Boy Scouts and things like that. And I looked at that, and I looked at him as a father figure and said, one day I'm going to be a father similar to Mr. Holland. I looked at my great-uncle who lived next door. My great-uncle was the smartest man you ever met. He had an 8th grade education, very soft-spoken, but carried this sense of calmness and quiet. But yeah, when you talk to him, there was this wisdom. And that was one of my other father figures. The third father figure I had, and this is, one was somewhat of a controversial father figure, but have any of you all seen the show, The Cosby Show, the rerun from The Cosby Show? I guess I ain't getting it. But one of my father figures was Bill Cosby in The Cosby Show. And I say that even though you guys may not know who The Cosby Show is, or Bill Cosby, it was that you can look beyond the traditional structure and say, okay, who out there is doing something positive that I want to be like, that I want to emulate, both professionally and in terms of being a father and a husband. And I remember watching The Cosby Show, and that was one of those things that I looked at and said, the role they're playing on television represents something I want to be more like. There are other role models we can look at. I mean, if it's your next door neighbor, your barber, the president, whoever, but somebody who's doing something positive that you like doing, and that's what you should be looking for as a father figure. So we talked, I talked about, the role models that children pick, and I talked about what fathers do. And I think, children, we can pick the best role models and model those people as our father figures, be them our fathers and people in the community. And we can take as fathers, encourage our students and our children to do the best they can be. The sky's the limit. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
As all the speakers have said, today is the day about honoring the positive male relationships in our students' lives. You were all given a blue pledge card. As part of that pledge card, we are going to recite that pledge card, those oaths together. And that is going to be our commitment to our children to make sure that we are a positive influence in their lives. Together, I am responsible for the education of my child. I will encourage all children, please join me as we go through this. I will encourage all children to do their best every day at school. I will speak to my child about the values of learning and the importance of reaching our potential. I will help with schoolwork and review assignments or completion. I will praise my child when he or she does well in school. I will speak with my child's teacher and support them through educating my child. I will teach my child the values of education and the values of family. I will work with my child's mother or guardian to achieve the best academic and social outcomes for my child, even if I do not live with my child. This is our Greenview Father's Pledge. This is our life pledge. As we end our program and we do our ceremonial walk, these are some of the values and some of the things that I'd like you all to speak with your children. So the next phase of our program is that I'm going to ask you to exit out the back with your child. We're going to do a ceremonial walk around the fourth grade wing. I ask that you spend that time setting some goals with your child, setting some academic goals, some emotional goals, some social goals of how to be successful in school. We thank you for being here. You are, as one parent said, the framework for how successful we are in school. A lot of mothers often come to me and say, well, why don't we do this for mothers? And I do also want to make sure that we're not discarding the impact of mothers, but we as fathers have to step up and be part of our child's education. And you all represent that movement. Again, thank you all for being here. Mr. Fuller, can we direct them at the end there? Mr. Fuller is going to give you the lead, and we'll follow him through. As he sets up the video, I also want to encourage dads, PTA, meet you. We go to the PTA meetings, and there's so many moms. PTA meets dads too, and we're impacting, we're influencing your wisdom. So please feel free to join us. Thank you again for coming out. Have a great day. After you've made your round, come back and have some refreshments. And we will consume the class.
Well spoken.
Oh, okay, you can go there. You can, you know what, yeah, if you must do it and over there. What, maybe down Here we go, come on. Right here. There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Nice. Don't get it into the
You're fine, you're fine.
Just all day, all day. Let's get a group shot right here. I got it.
Come on.
Nice. Right here.
Where y'all going? I should have stayed.
All right, who's that for? Messages. We got messages.
All right.
All right.